Say the same thing every night, don't I? It does not get old when you get to watch that every night. We're spoiled. Starting pitching has been outstanding all year long, and I do have to give some props to our defense tonight. I thought we played an outstanding game defensively, from the double play in the first inning to the catches. Vic made a catch. Just Polo, the play he made with the spinning the ball, jumping backwards, like. They all don't seem that big, but when you're a starting pitcher and you get that kind of pick-me-up from the guys in the field, it really allows you to get into your game and roll, and that's what Logan did tonight. So, he had all the pitches working. I said before the game I thought the split finger was going to be a critical pitch for him tonight. They just, the fastball slider, and I think the third time through the lineup, when you got the split finger going with those pitches, you really become dangerous. It's really, you can't sit out anything, and that's what we saw tonight. So Cal did a great job working Logan through their lineup, and did it a little bit differently every time through the lineup tonight, which is those guys have such a close relationship. They spent so much time together. Logan really trusts Cal, and Cal knows when to get on Logan. So, great job on the hill. I thought offensively tonight, a lot of really good things. Last night we talked, it was the guys at the bottom of the lineup. Tonight the guys at the top of the lineup, between Randy and JT stepping up. Both of them get a couple hits, RBIs, Vic getting it going early on. I mean, really fun game. It was a lot of excitement in the ballpark. We brought it, starting in the bottom of the first with what Vic was able to get going. So you can carry over tomorrow. The Mets have a good club. It's hard to sweep anybody, but we need to keep it going and pick a game up tomorrow as well.
You talked about getting on their starter. What did you see out of those first couple innings at bats?
Though did an outstanding job against Mania. We've certainly seen him a lot, but he's been throwing the ball really well. Last couple times out, he's gone 7 innings and struck out 10 or more. And we were really on him early. Thought we did a good job laying off some off-speed pitches, and we got a few in play. Vic, 2-strike double, Randy, 2-strike double. Those things kind of get the momentum going, but the fact that we made him throw 85 pitches in the first 3 innings kind of put them, behind the 8 ball, and then we took advantage of it.
I think, if I'm remembering rightly, you guys started off the homestand, Vic lead-off home run there. When he's doing stuff like that, when he's in the middle of the field dancing and making diving catches all over the place, just what does it do to that dugout, and can you even feel that reverberating, I guess, through the whole building?
You feel it in the whole stadium, and I said early, Vic's an entertainer. We're in the entertainment business, and I talk all the time to these guys, be who you are, and that's who he is, and that's what allows him to play really well. It allows him to play free. He's not thinking too much. He's just out there being Vic, and it rubs off on our other guys. When they see him do things that guys would never think about doing, and the success he's having, it does become a lot of fun. But he's very entertaining.
Not just for Logan, but for this whole pitching staff. Last 2.5 games. What's working for them, top to bottom, with who you're deploying right now?
We're throwing strike one. First of all, I thought Logan was outstanding tonight, going right after guys. Certainly, first time through the lineup, you really establish. With Logan's fastball slider, but he's going to dominate the strike zone. I thought Bryce did it last night. We need to continue to do it in this series. You just have way better odds when you're ahead in the count and you're controlling the count. Our guys have really good stuff, but they do the right things consistently. And that's a credit to our pitching coaches and what we believe in here, and everybody buys in. And they know if they don't have a good outing, maybe it wasn't a pitcher there. It was overall, did I attack the zone? Was I controlling counts? And we do that, we're really good.
And then the splitter becomes even more effective that third time through because he is landing the fastball and the slider early.
Yeah, and all his pitches, if you break it down and you overlap and put it on video, they all look the same and they all go in different directions. And when you're 6'7" and you got extension down the mound, the ball is getting on top of you quickly. And I give Logan a ton of credit tonight. I think in the games like that, we get the 3 runs early. You get into the 6th inning, he was behind some hitters in that inning. It was the only inning he was really behind anybody. And I felt like he was, pitching maybe not to screw it up, and you have to be the aggressor. And I thought in the 7th inning when he went out, he said, no, this is my game. I'm going to be on the attack. I'm going to get after him. And he made some awesome pitches in the 7th inning to complete his outing.
A few times. No, go ahead.
I think it's 11 appearances in a row without even allowing a hit, franchise record. Just we talk ad nauseum about it, but I think you said kind of spoiled, but obviously you're closer too.
We are. It was good to see him out there tonight. It's been a while. It's been weird. You run in streaks like that throughout the course of a season. You'll go 5-6 days. You don't need him, or he does not. But he is going to be used a lot So the fact that we're able to give him a little breather here is great. He was going to pitch tonight no matter what the score was, and he'll be available tomorrow as well. But Mooney's put together a really good season as he continues to learn and grow in that closer role. There's been days it's been easy for him. There's been days it hasn't been as easy, but he's tough to hit. The ball gets on you, and he's got the wicked slider, and he's super aggressive, which we love to see.
From your standpoint, which play for Polo was tougher, the spinner there in the 8th or the diving stop you made?
They're both plays that, I don't know which. Diving for the ball and then flipping it out of your glove somewhere in the direction where the shortstop can grab it, it's pretty hard to do that. And then, the randomness of getting to that ball in the 4-hole and then having to spin back and actually grabbing it behind you. I mean, that play could happen 10 times. You might grab it 2. And it's just, that's experience. That's no panic. That's playing a lot of baseball and having done some of that stuff before, which is great. I thought Polo swung the bat extremely well tonight. He got nothing to show for it, but it didn't affect him on the defensive side. He looked really good out there tonight.
Scott, you talk about it all the time. It's such a long season, but things can change so quickly, as we've seen here just in the last couple of days. Just what is the key to kind of riding through some of that and then sustaining what you're feeling right now?
Consistency is the key, and I think you knew what my answer was going to be. Yeah, you have to be consistent. I have to be consistent. Our players can't get too high, get too low, because the outside noise will get louder and it'll get quieter. But what matters is the group in here, and those guys believe in themselves. And if we know we do what we're capable of doing, the consistent at bats, night in, night out, play defense the way we're doing it, starting pitching, pretty good bullpen, looks like a pretty darn good team and a dangerous team. Again, we've played very well in August. Over the last few years here. There's a reason for it. Our guys believe in our process. They come to work hard every day. They don't try to get too high or too low, no matter what the outside noise is. That's a credit to our players. They do believe in it.
A few times tonight, sent Robles, sent Rosarena, sent Moore. Where does having that speed make a difference with what you want to do offensively?
It's huge. I think anytime you can put pressure on the defense, let's run the bases. I thought what Vic did in the first inning was great. He's timing it up. He's always looking, how do I get the extra base? And he likes to entertain. That's a different play. You don't usually see it too often. But all the guys, Randy's aggressive on the bases. Demo always runs the bases hard. We do have guys with speed. We've done an outstanding job in picking our spots and stealing our bases this year. Our success rate is one of the top in the league. And it's by design. Chris Negron does a good job. He does all the reports, understands who's got good moves, who doesn't. So it starts at the top, and our players are buying in. They understand the value of that, and when you got guys that can run, it's fun. It's fun to watch them go. All right, thanks.
Let's go.
Give up that leadoff single, and then you see it nixed away with a double play like that. How does that kind of set the tone and seeing that stuff happen behind you?
Yeah, that's huge. That's one of the best plays I've seen all year. To take the momentum like that, hard hit ball, great play behind me. Both of them finding a way to knock it down, flip it, and then the bare hand. Then we go in. I feel like with that momentum, score 3 in the first. So those guys behind me, I felt like won the game in the first. Ultimately, they did a really good job back there.
How does that help you settle down going forward? Because from there, it was pretty much lights out for.
Yeah, that's huge, especially on a well-hit ball. A couple well-hit balls in the first there. So just to get out of the first, they got a good lineup, especially on the top there. So find a way around that. And then, like you said, settle in, get the ball down, hit my spots. And I feel like Cal worked really well back there, mixing it up, both game plan and sequencing. So I feel like he did really well helping me out too.
The offense, you get an early 3-0 lead like that. Can you feel that in the ballpark? Does that kind of maybe you feel that a little bit more too when you're out there?
Yeah, for sure. Especially, Saturday night, fans are going crazy out there. I'm down in the tunnel, getting ready for the next inning and feel like sounds like a playoff game out there. Putting up 3 runs in the first, that's huge and a lot of momentum. So I feel like, then it's just my job to go out there and try to hold it.
Last game seemed like settle in, a lot of sliders against the Phillies. Tonight, what'd you make out of your pitch mix, your location, and how you were feeling that as you went throughout the game?
Yeah, I think the main thing, we were getting ahead, so we had more options and more freedom, especially the first 5 innings. So that really gave us a good chance. We like to go to the slider a lot. The curveball is working well too, especially to the righties. And then we started getting the split in there later in the game and late in count. Got some swing and miss on that. Like I said, Cal does a great job finding when to get those cutters in there. I feel like when they're not paying attention or like expecting it. Having the slider down, knowing when to go for chase, when to go for in the zone to some of those patient guys. So just at this level, you got to do a good job mixing.
Has that splitter become an even bigger weapon for you, or what's your confidence level on that right now?
Yeah, I feel like it's working really well. It's such a trust pitch, and you got to treat it like a fastball. And when I try to make it move or do something, it's not great. My arm gets behind me, but then a few of those, I feel like Alonso, I think, and Martinez maybe, really just trust it out front, like Woody always says, and throw it like a fastball, and it usually ends up a little bit better.
It's 5th time this year you've gone 7 scoreless in a game. There's a level of efficiency that has to go into getting that deep into a game at this point. What do you feel like you've done really well in those outings to be able to be as effective as you have been?
I think a pretty good pitch mix, like deep arsenal. So I saw that with Bryce yesterday too. He did a great job at mixing it up with 6 pitches, whatever. Getting ahead, being aggressive, I think is the main thing that we always preach, and trusting that my stuff can play in the zone early and then expand late, knowing when to expand, who are the aggressive guys, who are the patient guys, stuff like that. So I think between a combination of those things, it helps me keep the pitches down and try to go deep.
Do you think part of that is maybe not pitching to the strikeouts, but pitching, like making your pitch and maybe focusing more on efficiency and getting through those 7 rather than racking up the big strikeout numbers?
Yeah, I think so, because like sometimes I'll go 0-2 and throw 2 chase pitches and they don't swing, and I almost I'm upset. But you're 2-2, you still have a good chance to get them out. But it's like I feel like I'm just wasting time, wasting pitches out there. So if you get them on their heels, what's the batting average 0-2 and 1-2? It's probably the lowest there is. So I like going right after them, making them swing it. Usually you have a pretty good chance, and if you get your hand out front and put it in a good spot, you should be all right.
And related to that, I think I had like 5 of 8 winning the 1-1 counts. How important is that to you?
Yeah, again, that's what we preach here. We try to do a good job focusing on it, measuring it after every outing, see how I do in my 1-1. So if you get to 2 strikes, if you get to 2 strikes quickly, especially, you have a really good chance. And like I said, Cal kind of does the rest with keeping them off balance. The only time I shook, I gave up a hit today, so I'll be hearing about that one.
To a pitcher like you, how does Cal make such a difference in how he prepares and game plans with you?
I mean, he knows his stuff. He works harder than just about anybody on that, and physically, it's a tough job that he has, but also the confidence that he instills, especially year 4 or whatever it is. You want to follow a guy like that. It's not like he's making suggestions, this might work. He goes in there and tells you what's going to work, what you're good at, how the matchup works, and it makes you feel even more confident in your own stuff because of the way he prepares.
Who'd you shake on?
That last Lindor hit up the middle, rocket.
I think you lead all baseball again in innings pitched now. I think you set a goal for yourself to get to 200 this year. Just what does that mean to you? Kind of be that workhorse for this team this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to give us a chance to win and try to help the bullpen out. It's pretty simple, really. And a few years ago, the young guy, I felt like other guys were covering my innings. Marco, Robbie, Flex, different guys. So I want to be able to do that for the younger guys, for the bullpen, and I think it's going to help us out, especially late in the season like we're getting into. So I love it. I always want to be out there.
I mean, you've called 6 innings like the bare minimum, which I think a lot of pitchers would be happy to get through 6.
Yeah. It used to feel like a lot more, but the game kind of turns a little bit, kind of new school, 3rd time through, a lot of guys are out, but I understand that side of it. But when you're in the moment, it's a completely different animal. You don't ever want to come out. You want to compete and go as long as possible, and I feel like that's how I help the team the most.
All right. Thanks, Logan.
Thanks, Logan.